Okay, thank you again. You could continue to contribute throughout the event, but we're going to move on now to the Law and Society Awards themselves. I'm proud to introduce David Stern, Executive Director of Equal Justice Works, who will present the Law and Society Award to Kim Koopersmith. David.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Let's have it one more time. I know we can do better than that. Good afternoon. Better. Awesome. My name is David Stern, and I am the Executive Director of Equal Justice Works. I am thrilled to be here because I'm a big and passionate supporter of New York lawyers for the public interest. It's near and dear to my heart. You know, I'm an enthusiastic guy, but few things could fire me up as much as presenting this award to Kim Koopersmith. I love Kim. Kim served on our board for 10 years, 3 of them as board chair, and she continues to serve on our board of counselors. Kim is one of the most amazing leaders I have ever seen. She does not fit the prototype of the alpha leader who walks into a room and tells everybody, first of all, pretends to be the smartest person in the room, and second, tells everybody where we're going for the destination. No, Kim's leadership style is inspirational. She doesn't pretend to know it all. In fact, if you remember that movie, Big, with Tom Hanks, and they present that new toy, and Tom Hanks says, "I don't get it." Well, that's Kim. Kim would ask that question when a new idea was presented. She'd say, "I don't get it." And then she would very slowly but very compellingly walk through the facts of why it is she didn't get it. And by the time she was finished, most of us sitting in the room were looking around at each other and saying, "We don't get it either." So one of Kim's most amazing traits is her deep and authentic commitment to values: pro bono, diversity, and fighting for justice. At a time where profits drive many decisions in big law firms, Kim has devoted herself, both at work and in her volunteer activities, to holding true to these values. Those values are her North Star. So Akin Gump has won countless awards for pro bono, and Kim always pushes for more. She and her partner, Steve Schulman, are national heroes when it comes to pro bono. Everybody knows them. Kim is also a champion for diversity, and she does that both at her firm by promoting pipeline programs and scholarships, and she is also a really true champion for women to make sure that there are pathways for them, not only in her firm, but throughout the profession. And in her spare time, not that she has very much of that, she serves on the board of Her Justice and the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. In connection with Equal Justice Works, I have seen Kim's passion and commitment to launching the careers of public interest lawyers. These are leaders who share Kim's passion for equal justice and public service, working on issues like veterans, immigration, housing and homelessness, medical legal partnerships. Her firm has sponsored 16 Equal Justice Works Fellows. It's incredible. So one of these fellows, Shiva Prakash, served at the New York Lawyers for the Public Interest, where she launched an innovative community program focused on solar energy, and that program still exists to this day. On top of all this, and perhaps most importantly, Kim is one of the best people I have ever known. She is good-hearted. She is devoted to her husband, Bill, and to their 2 daughters, Meredith and Charlotte. And she's one of my dearest friends. So as I said at the beginning, I love Kim. So it is, honestly, she represents the very best in our profession and also in our world. So now please join me in congratulating Kim Koopersmith, who is my hero and good friend. I'm supposed to read the inscription here. New York Lawyers for the Public Interest is proud to present the 2019 Law and Society Award to Kim Koopersmith in recognition of her exceptional commitment to diversity and pro bono access. Here it is.
How kind. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, David and McGregor and everyone here at NYLPI. I am truly overwhelmed by this honor, which means so much to me. As McGregor can tell you, I was a reluctant recipient of this award. You see, I went to law school to be David and to be McGregor and to be Vanita. But I failed in taking that path, which leaves me every year to saying to myself, Kim, it's really time you got started with your real career. So I do stand very humbly on this stage with all of you who have succeeded in making a commitment to justice and to meeting the needs of the most vulnerable amongst us. Standing with you is an honor I appreciate more than words could ever say. So David, you have been an incredible leader at Equal Justice Works and more broadly in the public interest community, and you are, as everyone here can now attest, a true force of nature. So when I think of the opportunities that have been afforded me as chair of Akin Gump, the opportunity to come under your force field has been one of the true highlights of the last decade. You have nurtured and found outlets for my strong desire to make a difference in this world, and in doing so, you have enhanced my professional life immeasurably. As I said when I termed out on the Equal Justice Works board, corporate governance is great until it applies to you, and I will repeat again here with a nod to Neil Young, it has been one of the thrills of my life to be on this stage with you. McGregor and NYLPI, I am truly overwhelmed. When my daughter Charlotte was 5, she was named Camper of the Day. She did not know at the time that she was the last kid left and the only one who hadn't been picked. I didn't disabuse her of this, and she called me at work and said in her proudest voice, "Mommy, I was Camper of the Day." I don't know what I did. I guess I just cleaned up a lot and was very good. Char? Well, that's a little bit how I feel today. The work that NYLPI and so many of you in this room have done to address the needs of so many New Yorkers is the true work of greatness. You have tackled shocking injustices. You have aided vulnerable communities with no voice. You have advocated for what is right for the underserved, and you have made our city so much better. You have taken on monumental and seemingly intractable issues, as you just saw, like environmental justice, sports equity in public schools, and disability justice. And you found your path, which you heard again and again today, by doing something so rare. You listened to our communities and you let their voices guide your mission. You are an organization born at a time of great upheaval in 1976 with a mission to address what was an assault on those most in need. The phrase deja vu all over again couldn't be more apt. What you are doing every day today is addressing the current assault on the most vulnerable members of our community, and it is truly the work of heroes. It has never, never been more needed. So why am I here today when I am not a hero? Well, there are a limited number of what I think it is fair to call perks in being chair of a large law firm. Some are small, like people not hitting the close button when you are running to get the elevator in the morning. A few are larger and have to do with your ability to shape the priorities of the law firm. I'm just beginning my 7th year as chair of Akin Gump. And one of the smart things that I did when I started was to take some time to focus on what I wanted my legacy to be when I concluded my time as chair. And what I concluded I wanted that legacy to be was to leave the firm better and stronger for future generations. To reach that goal, I knew that culture was what matters most. And that's where the privilege of setting a firm's priorities comes in. I could not think of a better way to strengthen our culture than to ensure that Akin Gump remains firmly grounded in its commitment to addressing the needs of the vulnerable in our communities, and that we use our formidable legal skills to work towards a more just society. In a small way, I hope I have found a constructive path by unleashing the power of many. That I have been able to make this a continuing priority at our firm is no surprise when you remember that our firm was started by Bob Strauss, who moved in and out of government service and contributed to the betterment of our country as few others have done. And my friend and partner, Vernon Jordan, a stalwart of the civil rights movement, president of the Urban League, and advisor to leaders of all walks of life, continues to ensure that our culture of giving back and addressing injustice will always be a guiding principle. That foundation has indeed proven rock solid, as I am so proud to say that Akin Gump attorneys, many of you here today, well represented, contributed over 100,000 pro bono hours last year alone. So while being chair gives me the ability to set our priorities, it takes the force of 2,000 Akin Gumpers to advocate, translate, negotiate, litigate, to fully share that commitment to a greater good and act upon it. The lawyers and staff of Akin Gump have done that at detention centers in Texas, in reuniting families torn apart at the border, and in obtaining protection for abused women. They've challenged the treatment of prisoners at Guantanamo Bay, and they have pursued brutal rulers under the Torture Victim Protection Act. And they have accomplished so much in their amazing partnership with NYLPI, where we have worked on so many issues together, from assisting the Convent Avenue Baptist Church on real estate, creation of the neighborhood charter school, and creating Soul Sisters Leadership Collective, to name just a few recent partnerships. To everyone at Akin Gump, I share this honor with you and thank you from the bottom of my heart for caring and committing to use your time and your incredible skills for the public betterment. And finally, I want to thank my family, for there is no question I would not be there but for them. Dad, that is quite literally true, but I would add it is also spiritually true. In my family, we talked politics and social injustice at the dinner table from the time I could talk, which, according to my twin sister, started early and never stopped. It's hard not to be committed to social justice when your father participated in the March on Washington and reinforced the message over and over again of needing to address the injustices that define our country. Dad, at 87, here's to you for raising woke and spunky and committed children. And to my husband, Bill, who has supported me and joined in our family's commitment as a lawyer and as a board member at Planned Parenthood, addressing the needs of so many for basic health care and for basic dignity. And last but not least, to my daughters, Meredith and Charlotte, the sunshines of my life. You have shared the same commitment to a more just society. Meredith, in pro bono work you have done as an associate at Paul Weiss, a firm with a deep commitment to NYLPI, and Charlotte as a social worker in an underserved school, improving the lives of so many kids who rely on you literally for their daily emotional sustenance. In a city filled with proud parents, I definitively declare myself truly the proudest. Thank you, Vanita, for the honor of sharing the day of honor with you, and thank you to NYLPI for this award, for a day I will never forget, and for recognition by an organization that truly defines what is right and what is good and what is just. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate this.